So in today's Parenting 411, the kids have been back to school for a few months now, and as every parent knows, the learning never stops.
Every moment with our kids is a teachable one, so that's the perfect reason to switch things up just a little bit. And here with more is Andy B. from On the Rocks. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You have some really cool things you're going to be showing us this morning,
fun
right?
stuff, fun stuff. Well, kids learn in a variety of different ways, and adults do too. You know, some are kinesthetic learners. They learn through movement. Others are visual learners. They learn by really seeing and observing stuff. So there's a variety of different ways that people learn. And the sad thing is, most teachers teach in a real auditory way. So it's all about listening, but that's not necessarily how every child learns.
So what are some of the ways that you can teach in a different way?
Well, there's a lot of different things. I think trying to play around with your kids a little bit and figure out what makes them learn best, what type of learner they are, helps. And really the only way to do that is to kind of play around with it. So if you have a child that is kind of a kinesthetic learner, they like to learn through movement. So they could take something like a jump rope and they can actually practice their multiplication facts while they're jumping rope.
Okay.
Very
maybe
cool.
you have like a tactile learner. So something like this where it's a pipe cleaner, but they're actually counting the beads as they practice, you know, learning their numbers and counting. This would be great for a hands-on or tactile learner.
So you're kind of combining two activities into one. The movement, because that's the type of learner they are, in addition to the learning your multiplication.
That's right.
Wow.
And then for some people, even if they're tactile, they like to be hands-on when they learn. One really great thing would be to take a chalkboard and practice writing your spelling words.
Okay.
Or you could even get a tray, like a a cooking sheet maybe,
Yeah.
pour some salt on it, and then have them take their finger and actually write their spelling words in the salt.
I like that. That's really interesting. So, we would do flashcards a lot when I was younger, but that's really
Absolutely.
neat because you could save a lot of paper that
There
way.
you go. Well, flashcards are great too if you happen to be a learner that likes to learn through observing, because you can see that and also practice it. So that also helps if you like to say it out loud. It helps you get it in your mind when you're repeating it. So that's another great way.
And you did say that learning, we talked about the fact that learning happens in every way, every day. How do you encourage that activity over and over again?
I think definitely just look for teachable moments with your kids. You know, if you're going to bake cookies, take the time to sit there and say, well, let's measure it out. And that actually works on fractions and adding and math. You know, it all kind of works together. Maybe you can have a lemonade stand, and that'd be a great way to practice counting back money.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
I
now,
love that idea.
some kids are kind of distracted when they're doing their homework, and that's kind of a challenge. My son tends to be like that, so I make sure he rides his bike or he plays basketball before we actually sit down to do the learning, because for him it really helps him focus.
Okay.
And what you can also do with kids who tend to get a little distracted when they're doing their homework, you can take something like a beanbag and take little brain breaks. Toss the beanbag back and forth, and in between assignments, or you can jump rope, jump in place, you know, any kind of movement, and then get right back into it.
I agree with you
and work
there.
on the assignments.
You know what's interesting is that too often as parents we think, no, you got to get to your
Get it
homework,
done.
get it done,
Yeah.
and then you could go have fun. But that's very interesting because sometimes they're really worked up. I know a lot of adults that are like that as well when you get home from work and you're very pent up with the energy.
Yeah, so it's a good way to kind of get the energy out, and then when they actually, I notice it does make a difference. When he goes to sit down to do his work, he is more focused. He can sit a little bit longer because he's gotten his energy out.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of everything. So what is the one big lesson we should take away from this?
I really think get creative with it, have fun with your kids, you know, figure out what works best for them and make it fun. It's so easy as parents to get in that homework battle where you're like, oh, just do your homework, get it done. It becomes this fight. Don't do that.
Yes.
Maybe sit with your kids. I do that sometimes. I'll just sit near them as they're working on their homework, and that way they know I'm here for them. If they have a question, I'm here to help. Or, hey, do you need a little brain break? Come on, let's toss the beanbag back and forth. You know, connect with your kids, and
I agree.
that usually helps.
And that not only helps them with their homework, but it gets you that one-on-one connection with your kids.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Good idea.
Yeah.
All right, we have more New Mexico Living when we come back.